Hey guys, Harry here, and today I'm going to be bringing you my thoughts on Fate Stay Night, the series, which has just ended, because as you've seen on this channel, I was reviewing it episodically until I think I haven't reviewed the last 3 episodes. The main reason for this was because I was super ill. Well, the first one was because of college, and then the last 2 was because I was super ill, and I just never got round to going back and redoing it. So now that the series has ended, it was yesterday, and I've already watched the last episode twice now. I watched the second to last episode 4 times. That's how much I enjoyed this series. Like, it was utterly perfect. It's now my favourite series. Like, before this, Fate Zero was my favourite series, and just Fate Stay Night has even blown that out of the waters. Just the characters in this I enjoyed so much more, as well as the character development and just the battles in general. I just thought it was absolutely perfect. So now that it's come to a close and the episodes have already gone, I just thought instead of doing a review, I was just going to talk about my thoughts and opinions about the series as a whole, because we are still left with some questions at the end of this series, and obviously with Heaven's Feel coming out eventually, I say eventually, I really hope that it comes out sooner rather than later. I hope this isn't gonna turn into like a Kizu Monogatari, which, if you don't know, is a movie from the Monogatari series, which has been hyped up and speculated for years now, and it just hasn't come out. I'm hoping Heaven's Feel isn't like that, and it actually comes out, because we've seen parts of the PV and it looks awesome from like the clips we've seen. Like the little 19-minute clip at the end of this episode, the last episode, was awesome, which was aired in Japan. Wasn't on Crunchyroll, which I thought was a bit weird. I thought they could have at least put it in there, even if they didn't want to add the subtitles. So I don't know what's going on with there, because, you know, it was on the actual from what I've seen of the Japanese airing of the show, at the end there wasn't a break or anything after the word end or fin, I can't remember what it said, and it just went straight into those 19 seconds. So I don't know why it wasn't on Crunchyroll, but I'll link it below if I remember to put it in the description below. It's only like 19 seconds. It is also footage we've already seen if you've watched the teaser for the actual trailer for Heaven's Feel. So I can't wait to see that. I am going to be going back to the visual novel, finishing Unlimited Blade Works route, and then I will be reading Heaven's Feel before I see the movie, because I don't really want to feel like waiting. As well as that, I'm moving into my flat next week, and I'm not going to have internet for like 16 days. So to read that it's very much the perfect time to actually get that down. So to talk about the last like 3 episodes, the fight between Gilgamesh and Shiro, I thought was done perfectly, because as a Fate Zero fan, I knew what Ia could do, and I liked the way that they portrayed Gilgamesh as seeing Shiro as nothing more than something that shouldn't even be on the bottom of his boot, because he's that lowly to him. And I liked the fact the way Ia was used in the fight. You see at the very end, the reason why basically Gilgamesh lost was because he didn't respect Shiro at all. He didn't even think of him as worthy to look at Ia. He even says that, I believe he says something along those lines in the fight against him, saying that he's not even worthy to see it because it is the most godly weapon. A lot of people, what I've seen, were saying, why didn't Shiro just like recreate Ia? From what I know about Ia's like belonging and where it's come from, it is a heavenly weapon, so only someone of godly level can wield it. So he wouldn't be able to touch it, whereas the likes of Excalibur, that's a magical sword. So there is a parallel difference between the two. So I thought the fight was really awesome, because this is a little bit of a Fate Zero spoiler. The way that Gilgamesh beats Ryder in Fate Zero, he could have done the exact same thing here. It was a reality marble. The way I see it is Gilgamesh respected Ryder, even though it wasn't on the same level. It was a lot higher than what Shiro was, because Ryder, he was a king in his own right, and he had a huge army in his reality marble. So obviously he thought he was worthy enough to at least fight him properly, so he used Ia straight away. He respectfully used the weapon to defeat him there and then, because there was a difference of mutual respect between the two. With Shiro, he didn't even think Shiro would be able to touch him, let alone stand toe-to-toe with him and fight him. And I like the little bit where as soon as he's about to pick up Ia, he still hesitates at the end, because he just doesn't want to use it, just because of that like feeling between him and Shiro. And I just love the way that it happened, because he actually acknowledges Shiro at the end, and I just thought it was it was perfectly done. That fight was just amazing. Just with the comparisons between like him and Ryder in the two fights, I just thought it was perfect. So for that reason, I'm very glad that I watched Fate Zero first. Coming on to the epilogue was amazing. Like that's what I needed to finish this series off for me, because we don't, with how dark and gruesome Fate Zero was, and Fate Stay Night series, and the whole Fate like verse, it's a very dark series, and just to see that it got like its nice ending, Shiro got to say his goodbye, even though he's still stuck in his ideals and the way he wanted to move forward, he's still stuck with it, and that was very interesting for his character. I like the way it pans to him at the end as well. Like, you could look into that so much, but it was just really nicely done, especially from Rin's perspective. Fucking the cameo of Waver. If you don't know, there's a character in Fate Zero called Waver. He was seen in this episode, the last episode, and just seeing him there and having the conversation with Shiro, I thought was absolutely perfect. Like, as soon as he come up on stage, on screen, I was like, so good, so good. Like, just the series in general was amazing. The epilogue was awesome. Seeing freaking Rin mature in London, like, what more can I say? Rin is best girl. So overall, I'm seriously happy with the way this series ended. There's obviously still questions that we need answered, but honestly, I feel like reading Heaven's Feel, I'm more than happy. But even then, where we're at right now, I'm like super happy, super happy with this series. It was so damn good. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this. I don't know when this video is going to be up. I might just post it straight up now, even though I've already posted up another video today. But yeah, that's just my overall thoughts on the last couple episodes of Fate Stay Night. It was utterly amazing. I'm still in a bit of a shock that it's over. I feel like I will end up rewatching the series again, but that'll probably be closer to the time when Heaven's Feel comes out. I'll probably just do it again. But anyway, guys, I've been Harry. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that great stuff. And let me know in the comments below on what you thought about the series end. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Anything you didn't really like? There's probably some things I'm forgetting to talk about here, but I really enjoyed it. So anyway, guys, I shall see you around. Goodbye.